What's up, everyone? This is Maayan Gordon. I am back, like I said I would be, for another Live at 5. It's a little after 5 p.m. PST. If you're on the East Coast, it's looking like 8 o'clock, almost 8:30 over there. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, you know what I'd love for you to do. Go ahead and post in the comments what's one thing or more that you're grateful for today, and where in the world are you watching from? I'm also live streaming right now to my TikTok channel. So TikTokers, why don't you guys let me know where in the world are you watching from, and what is one thing that you are grateful for today? I'm going to be fielding questions from both live streams right now. So if you've got a question, no matter what platform you're on, go ahead and post it in the comments. First question I've got is, when did I start my TikTok? Great question. I believe it was late August of 2019. So it's now been like a year and 3 months, which is pretty crazy. Feels like it just happened, yesterday, so to speak, but it's been a wild ride. It's been an amazing time. And one of the things that I'm trying out for the first time this year, I think I tried to make it happen other years, but really didn't have anyone to help me or mentor me on how to get it done, is creating an action plan for 2021. There we go. As we get closer to the end of the year, the beginning of the new year, we always have all of this talk, right, around setting goals. What are your goals for 2021? We've all probably got goals. Goals are not that hard to come up with. What's much harder is coming up with an action plan that's going to help you reach those goals. Because without an action plan, without taking action towards your goals, those goals are just wishes and dreams that are never going to happen. So while goals are great, action plans are even better. And if you're watching this right now, go ahead and let me know, have you set up an action plan for 2021 in any particular areas? Also, have you ever set up an action plan? I think for me, again, this is something relatively new that I'm working on with the help of my amazing, amazing partner, Jesse, who is a pro at these types of things. To me, it's new. And something that I have to force myself to do a bit. It's not something that I 100% love doing, writing down action plans, but I am super excited about the momentum that it builds, the clarity that it builds in me being able to achieve my goals, and the confidence that it gives me that, all I have to do is follow this plan and do these actions and take these steps and accomplish these things, and I'm going to reach my goal. Like, no doubt about it. You can see the pathway very, very clearly to get from where you are right now to where you want to be a year down the road. Let's see. We got a couple comments coming in. What's up, Jesse West? How's it going? From Langford, BC, Canada. That's awesome. It is getting cold up here in the north, is it not? Let's see. Needed taxation guide for 300 billion. Blah, 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 blah. What's up, Stephanie? How's it going today? Awesome. So let's talk about some practical tips when it comes to action plans. How do you create these action plans, Maayan? Those sound great. How do you get it done? Well, for me, the first step is always with the goals. What are your goals, and why do you have those specific and particular goals? And just to remind you, a goal is not an abstract, I want to have more money. A goal is something that is concrete, timely, and measurable. So I want to make $100,000 by January 1st, 2022. That's a goal, not I want to make more money. So first, you got to have some really specific goals, probably maximum of 3 to 5. You don't want to focus on too many things, especially if they're big and require a lot of work and a lot of action. So 3 to 5 really specific goals. And you can get there by first listing, what are all the goals that you could think of for 2021? Start with the list of everything, and then compare the goals against each other. What's more important? Is it more important to make an extra $100,000 this next year? Or is it more important that I build this infrastructure for my business? Is it more important that I improve my fitness and my health? Or is it more important that I have more time to spend to develop my relationship with my husband? But figure out what are those 3 to 5 maximum goals that if you could make progress in those, not even just if you hit those goals, but if you could simply make progress in those areas of your life where those goals exist, that you would be really, really happy by the end of next year. I'm going to check out the TikTok here real quick, see if there's any questions. We've got a question here from TikTok. So I'm not just live streaming to you guys. I'm also live streaming through StreamYard to LinkedIn, YouTube, and to Facebook. So if you see me reading something down from my screen, that's a comment that's come in from another platform. We're doing a crazy multi-stream right now. Great question, though. So I'm reading comments from other people. What's up, Sevenly from Texas? How are you doing today? What do you do on your birthday and other people's birthdays? Oh, great question. Great random question. So on my birthday, I made a pact with myself that in the, let's say, hopefully, I'm very optimistic with my age. So I think I've got 70 more years left. I think I could live till 100. I've got great genes and DNA. A lot of my family members have lived to, 98 to 105 years old, in that range. So let's say I've got 70 years left, 70 more birthdays, or 71. I want to do something new I've never, ever done before on each one of those birthdays, which becomes trickier and trickier as you start crossing things off your list. You're like, man, what haven't I done yet in life? But for me, that's one of the things. I want to make sure I'm doing something that I've never, ever tried or done before. That could be trying a new food. That could be going to a new city or country. It could be doing a new activity. Like on my 25th birthday, I went UTVing or ATVing for the first time ever in a big Razor, two-person. You sit in the seat and you drive. You go all over rocky terrain. We went in Salt Lake City, Utah, which was a whole lot of fun. But that's why I like to do for my birthday. Other people have different traditions. Like going out to dinner is a great tradition. Doing movie marathons can be super fun. Going on hikes. People have all different requests. And when it's someone's birthday, I like to let them hold the reins and kind of steer the day. All right, let's keep going here with talking about the action plans. So we got a couple more comments here from LinkedIn. We got Stephanie, who says she's the next Oprah Gail Winfrey. Tell us more about that, Stephanie. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Is it the money that you're after? Is it the brand awareness and the fame? Why do you think and why do you want to be the next Oprah Winfrey? This is always a question. When people tell me their goals, I ask them, why? Why do you care about that goal? What is it that goal is going to allow you to do? What is it that accomplishing that goal is going to make you feel? But like, why do you care about that goal? And sometimes, we don't have very good reasons because we don't have another goal. And we know we're supposed to set a goal for something, right? But figuring out, okay, is this really a goal I care about and I'm passionate about to the point I'm willing to suffer for it to accomplish that goal? That's a really important thing to look at and figure out, because here's the truth, guys. If you're not willing to suffer for something, it's probably not very likely that you're going to accomplish it if it's anything substantial or anything that is difficult, because most difficult, rewarding, awesome, amazing things in the world that anyone's ever accomplished have come with a heavy amount of sacrifice in some particular area. Now, I'm not saying sacrifice of happiness, like I don't think that's a good trade, but maybe it's sacrificing some of your flexibility. Maybe it's sacrificing some of your free time. Maybe it's sacrificing dwelling mentality. Maybe it's sacrificing some of your mindset that you're trying to hold on to, but that's actually a negative or a bad mindset. So figuring out what are the things you care so much about that you're willing to sacrifice them. Those are what your goals should really be centered around. That's what you should be focused on in 2021, is making progress and making movement in those areas. So once you got your goals, what's next? What's next is setting milestones. For any goal or any distance that you want to travel, if you're trying to get from here to here, you have to travel through here. There's milestones that you must hit if you are to accomplish your goal. So break down your goal into milestones. For example, if your goal, it's easy to take revenue goals. Let's say your goal is to hit $100,000 in added revenue in 2021. Well, then you first have to hit 25,000 in added revenue before you can hit 50,000, before you can hit 100,000, right? So figuring out those milestones and when you want those milestones to happen in a reasonable, logical sense, to think, if by the end of the year I want to hit $100,000 in revenue, I think that I reasonably have to hit 25K in revenue by the second quarter or by the third quarter, because I think if I don't hit that milestone by that time, I'm not going to hit my goal by its deadline. So figure out what are those milestones in between. And then once you've got your milestones, then it really comes into your action plan. And the really good, juicy, gutsy part of this is, what are the actions that you have to take to reach that milestone. Let's take a road trip, for example. Let's say you're going to drive out. Here's one that I've done from Seattle, Washington, down to Las Vegas or to Los Angeles, California. Some of those milestones are going to be, let's say, Portland, Oregon, if you're going down I-5, and then, San Francisco or Sacramento. Like, you got to pass through those cities if you want to get down to Los Angeles or Las Vegas. Okay, well, then what are the actions that you have to take to get to those milestones? Oh, well, I'm going to have to fill up my gas tank every 100 miles, let's say. That's an action I am consistently going to have to take if I want to get all the way down to my milestones. I'm going to have to refill with gas. Maybe also I need snacks. Maybe I have to have X number of snacks and I have to eat every 3 hours so that I can have enough energy to drive the car to get to these milestones. Maybe you need some breaks along the way. Maybe you need some vistas and some viewpoints so that you can stop and take a break from the emotional wear that driving is having on you, to be able to appreciate how far you've come, to be able to refuel and energize to keep going. These are all action steps that should be in your action plan if you want to really feel confident and have a ton of clarity around reaching your goal of getting all the way to Las Vegas, especially if you're someone like me, where I fall asleep very quickly when driving, meaning I can't normally drive more than like an hour or 2 hours at a time before I start getting road drowsiness. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I have to have a great plan if I'm going to be driving by myself. And so you guys know, I make Ben do all of the driving. I rarely ever drive because I have a chauffeur. He's my husband. He's much better and safer at driving than me anyways. So I let him handle that. Also, it like affects him zero. You could drive for like 12 hours straight. He's crazy. But for me, I better have a really good plan in place if I'm going to get down to Las Vegas safely and I'm driving by myself. The same thing is true. Also in your action plan, though, can be stuff with your team members. Like this driving example is great. Maybe my action plan is to have Ben drive, and I am going to support him by me giving him snacks and asking him if he's hungry every 2 hours, by giving him massages while he's driving to make sure that he doesn't tense up or, get too tired. Whatever it is, I'm going to still have action steps that I'm doing to support the other team members who are helping me to accomplish that goal. So I guess it's important to understand, are you trying to achieve this goal by yourself? Or do you have or need team members to help you accomplish this goal and reach your milestones? And when do those team members come in? What are their responsibilities? What actions are they going to be taking? But building out these action plans, both individually and as a team for your entire organization, is so incredibly valuable, not only to actually the plan getting executed, not only to you being able to measure your progress, not only in terms of you being able to analyze what's happening and what's going on, but also just in terms of how you feel about executing. You're going to feel way more excited, way more confident, way more enthusiastic about taking action towards something that you see you can clearly accomplish than something where you have some doubt. You guys know the sayings, doubt is a bigger killer of dreams than something else than failure ever will be. That's true. Your emotions control your actions for the most part. And if you don't know how to control your emotions to optimize your actions, then you're only ever going to be half as good as you could be. So figuring out all of these different components is a pretty intense, complex process. It is not something you sit down for an hour and after an hour you walk away and you have all the answers to your world, all the answers to the universe, all the answers to how to accomplish your goal. It's something you probably want to consistently work on an hour 3 times a week or 30 minutes every single day. It's something you want to put a heavy amount of focus and energy and time into until it's done. And then you're like, damn, look at my action plan. Look at my goals. Look at my milestones. This journey I'm about to go on in 2021 is pretty well mapped out. And therefore, I feel pretty excited, pretty confident, and pretty enthusiastic about getting it done and going on this journey. So those are just some things I wanted to share with you guys today. I'll go ahead and check out the comments on both platforms, and then I'll sign off and let you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. As always, you can reach out to me through LinkedIn, through Instagram, which is linked on my TikTok for all you TikTokers. You can contact me by searching my name on Google, Maayan Gordon. There's a lot of different ways to connect with me that'll pop up from there as well. So Philip says we need another Stephanie. Be you in your own right. Absolutely. Each of us has so much unique value to be able to offer to the world. We don't have to be the next anyone else. We're just going to be the best version of ourselves. Let's see. Stephanie says she wants to build her business, become great for her daughter and the world, to be free financially and abundantly. Yeah, absolutely. So I would set those as your goals. You could accomplish all of that and have nothing to do with Oprah Winfrey. I think a lot of times we like to pick these really lofty goals because we haven't really taken the time to think about what matters to us. And it's not the accolades, you guys. Rarely do accolades actually matter to anyone. There's underlying things that we truly care about. For example, setting a good example is such an awesome thing to be passionate about, whether that example is for your daughter, for your brother, for your other team members in your business, or for the world at large. Setting an example with your life is such an awesome thing to do. And I encourage anyone who feels any amount of passion towards that to be intentional with it and to think about how can you set an example with the actions that you're taking, with the content that you're putting out, with the communication that you're engaging with. Because that's amazing, but that's probably what you care about much more than being the next Oprah Winfrey. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to check the TikTok comments real quick. Oh, we got someone, I'm in tears. My ex is dating my best friend, and no, she is no longer my best friend. This is a great, first of all, I'm really sorry and totally empathize with the hurt and the betrayal that I'm sure that you're feeling right now. Anytime someone that we really thought was our friend does something that makes us feel like they are not our friend and that they actually never were our friend is a really painful thing to go through. So first, I'm sorry that you're going through that. Second, though, I want to remind you that better now than later, right? Like, you could have had this friendship for 10, 15 more years and then been stabbed in the back. And instead, you have now this new space in your life for a new best friend who's going to come along, probably be 100 times better than your ex-best friend. And your life's going to be way more awesome for it. So this is always a good thing to remember when your relationships go wrong or go sour, is better now than later, because they're gone and now you have space for something so much better to come into your life. And it's hard to think that way and to feel that way, but it is simply the truth. And as soon as you start to see it materialize and that person jumps in, you're like, oh, I get it. Like, I was never supposed to be friends with that other person. Good thing we had this bad experience so that I could know that we were not meant to have this relationship. And then more space opened up in my life for this new amazing person, and things are going so much better. And through those repeated experiences, you start realizing, oh, these are the type of people I want to have relationships with for these reasons. And these other types of people, while I like them, I don't actually want to have a deep friendship or relationship with them for these reasons. And the more you can start to understand what you want in relationships, the easier it becomes to find and form those relationships. Hi, Quinn. How's it going? I hope you have a much better day. Sending you tons of love and positivity. Thank you, Truette. I also love my sleeve. The cameras don't do it justice, you guys. This thing is colorful, bling and blinging. I love the little froggy right there on the inside. Also, did you notice? It's like pretty perfectly camoed. You can't even see my arm right now. Look at that camouflage. Also, the tattoo artist has never seen this background. That is just creepy, awesome coincidence that my arm it's totally camouflaged and color coded to my awesome tapestry and back display. See if we got any other awesome. If you're watching on LinkedIn and wondering, what is she talking about right now? I'm responding to some TikTok comments. We got some awesome live streamers who are watching with me right now and who watched through this whole thing. And I thought it might be fun for you to see, what does that TikTok interaction look like? What are some of those questions that I get asked on TikTok? You guys get to experience that right now. See. What do I do? Great question. I do a lot of different things, but right now I have two businesses that I'm running and maintaining. One is my glass blowing business, which is called Monkey Boy Art. That's like the brand name of my glass blowing business. And the other is Champion Empire, which is a business services company that has some distinct areas of operation. One is in coaching and leadership and personal development, but just coaching in general as it relates to business. That's anything from HR coaching to sales coaching and sales processes, again, to leadership, to goal setting, to vision, to creating company culture. All of those things we service. And then the other side is marketing and branding, where again, we do consultation and kind of deep dive strategy workshops, as well as influencer marketing. And we run influencer marketing campaigns for other brands and businesses. We're also building out just this incredible influencer network of people who are passionate about making a positive impact, care about using their influence in an authentic, true, and value creative way, and people who share similar values to me and to our Business Champion Empire. Those values are generosity, integrity, leadership, and let's see, what's the last one? Significance. Those are the four values that we have with our company. And so finding other people to create a community around those values is part of what we're doing with that. So if you guys ever have any questions, need any help with your business, have any type of person that you're trying to connect with, I also have an amazing network and I love connecting people to other people within my network. So feel free to reach out to me anytime. That concludes today's episode of Live at 5 here on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and to TikTok. So thank you guys all so much for joining me. Have an amazing rest of your Thursday night. And I think I'll see you tomorrow night as I stream live from Las Vegas. So make sure to tune in then as well.